Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Freedom League Dark in the Multiverse of the Master Mage, Long, Long Way from Home. Thank you for joining us for your weekly dose of superhero shenanigans. My name is Alex, and I will be your humble game master this evening. Tonight we are playing Green Ronin Publishing's Mutants and Masterminds, the world's greatest superhero RPG. M&M is a D20 system which uses its simple D20 mechanics to generate cinematic superhero action. Gameplay is quick and narrative with enough crunch to allow a ton of flexibility for gamers looking to tell stories ripped right out of their favorite comics and movies. There's also a wide open character creation system to bring your ideal superhero to life. M&M also has the best player currency in all of gaming, the Hero Point. These points can be used to reroll dice, edit a scene, and to modify or improve a character's powers for a quick burst of awesomeness. Hero points are earned by leaning into genre tropes, acting heroically, good role-playing, jokes I think are funny, jokes I think aren't funny, and suffering setbacks just like superheroes in other media. However, here at the Untold Stories Project, we have another way for our plucky heroes to earn those points, and that is from you, the audience. Anyone who follows, subscribes, or renews a subscription, or donates bits to the stream is given a hero point that you may give to the hero or GM of your choice. I do want to take a moment to thank our partners over at Norse Foundry. We have a partnership with them that gives you, our audience, a discount on fancy metal dice. If you head over to Norse Foundry and use the coupon code USP Norse, all one word, capital USP, capital N, you get a 10% discount on whatever you want to get over there. So head over there and pick up some new dice. They are beautiful. They're solid. The one I have that's my DM dice is a good motivator for throwing at people who aren't paying attention. We have gathered some heroes on the edge tonight. Say, how's it going, heroes?
How's it going,
How's it
heroes?
going,
Heroes?
I want to give everyone a chance to tell us a little bit about themselves, the character they will be playing, and have them answer my question of the day, which is, which of your former characters, USP or otherwise, would you have joined the Freedom League Dark during their journey through the multiverse? And I will start with Kat.
Hey guys, I'm Kat. I am playing Centuria tonight. You can find me here, obviously, on Wednesdays and on our podcast that is released every Friday, playing Cassian. For the question of the day, I am actually going to pick my first ever RPG character, which was an Alex game, Raven, who was pretty much a shape-shifting Black Widow, because I think she'd be badass, and she would bring her husband, the Arctic Fox, to help. And I will pass it. Do I want to go in order or do I want to jump around?
Chaos.
Deuce!
Oh, snap. I'm chaos.
Chaos bites you in the ass.
Hoisted by my own petard. Howdy, everybody. Deuce. You can find me here on USP or later on at my little buddy's birthday party. Happy birthday, Wadlet. I'm playing Gator Man, who's Gator and a man. If you need to know more than that, I really can't help you. If we're bringing over a different character, could be Babel. Who's Babel? Find out next week. Tune in. If not, we'll go with Junior because playing a Sasquatch is a lot of fun too. And with that, Doppel-me, Kevin.
Doppel-me, Doppel you. Hi, I'm Kevin. I'm playing Overdrive, the guy who puts OP and stop. Oh, wait, that's not one.
Oh, you got it. First try.
Overdrive, of course, is that speedster guy. Which I'm gonna go toss up. My first superhero character ever, whose name is my online persona I have, Griffin. Mostly because he's already been a multiverse hopper superhero. Or my first Mutants and Masterminds character in the Crimson Hands group back home, who was my riff on that guy on the cover of second edition, Centurion. Because then, since we go with musical names for our games, we could call it Don't Call Me Daughter, and then Centuria could vent to the guy who's not her dad, but looks like him. So. And I'll kick it over to that traitor of all times, Jonesy.
It would be rather fitting for Centuria to have to talk to a doppelganger of her father about her issues with the doppelganger of her husband.
Yes, makes perfect sense.
Does it though? Hi everybody. I'm Jonesy. Tonight I'll be playing. I'm confused. I don't know.
Who am I?
I am playing. I am the physical form of Mortis, but as of last week, he put on the Dr. Fate's helmet, the helm of Naboo. So I have no idea what's gonna happen. So let's yeah.
Let's see
As
how it
for
goes.
as for who I would bring into this game, I would bring in Flynn from Guardians of Haven, just because the chaos that would ensue as he flirts with Centuria and Gator Man and Overdrive
And everybody.
and yes, everyone.
Bringing sexy back.
I
Just
love Flynn.
just because
Everybody but Alara.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
Damn. It's going to be like that.
So Flynn is the captain of the band of ruffians out of Starhaven. So he's from our Guardians of Haven stream, which is available on demand on YouTube if you're interested in see what I'm babbling about. So with that, I will kick it over to Andy.
Hey everyone, I'm Andy. I'm here for our Wednesday night superhero shenanigans. You can also find me over on our website when I write some blog posts, or over on our YouTube channel. I'm the host of the Storyforge series, which, dear Lord, I think that everything slipped my mind the month of September. I'm getting back to it eventually here. I promise everyone. Anyways,
You
tonight,
didn't even have COVID.
yeah, I know. Tonight, I am playing Resonant, our resident gem mage, and to answer the question of the day, well, technically, one of my previous characters is already on our multiverse hopping shenanigans because Minerva is a part of the whole congregation that was trying to stop what Adrian Eldritch is doing. We just haven't really touched base with the Titan City cast and crew for quite a while. Although I do think it might be fun to bring back the first character that I played in an Alex game, in a home Alex game, not a con Alex game, because those are two different types of characters. And she was also based off of a City of Heroes character that I created many, many moons ago when I was still playing that MMO by the name of Lunar Frost. So I think that could be a fun little tie-in.
I love Lunar Frost. That whole game is just, it warms my spirit.
I mean, I technically might actually really want to pull Encephalopathy, which is not my character, but Peta's character, just to see her how she messes with Alex, because that was always fun.
It was always fun. Part of why I am the way I am now.
And with that, I will pass it over to Calvin.
All right. Well, hey everyone. I'm Calvin, and tonight I am playing Bowman, the agile archer with the awesome array of arrows. And to answer said question of the day, my answer, I was actually thinking Alara would be interesting, being put in a context where she has to do like heroic stuff without her sister around to be the good twin.
Sure, that would be ideal for her.
Ooh.
be fun seeing if
Isn't that what she
Alara or
wants?
Mortis gets the
No.
artifact first, as they both go diving for it.
There's only one artifact she wants.
It would be
I
great for
don't
me.
believe you.
I don't know. That was kind of the actual answer I was leaning towards, or like the first character I played on USP, which is XJ9, which technically isn't my character, but it would be funny to be a teenage robot in a magic adventure.
What a good game.
I just want you to bring Alara, bring your character in so that Mortis will then get the Moonstone.
I feel like that would probably happen if she was there.
Yikes.
Alex is processing. That's
Yeah, why are you making that face?
He's making notes.
I'm trying to remember if that's everybody. I think that's everybody.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
Um,
saved the best for last.
I don't know if I can answer this question because I'm the GM and I can bring whatever character I want to into the story. Actually, you know what? I can't. No, never mind. That's a spoiler. I can't answer this question because I do have an answer, and it is it's coming up at the end of our mid-season finale about which character I want to bring into this story because I think it'll be amazing for me, if not for everybody else.
And why is it Arctic Fox?
It's not Arctic Fox. He's already in the
I
story.
already brought Arctic Fox. Don't worry, guys.
Oh, I have. He's the kind of guy that gets brought to the party twice because
My
All of the
Arctic
Arctic
Fox is a
Foxes
good
from
guy.
across the multiverse.
ugh.
That'd be cool.
Arctic Fox across the multiverse. Yes. Okay. Into the Foxverse.
Foxhole. Foxhole.
Perfect. It was right there. It was like Quiver and Bow Cave.
Oh my god.
All right. Well, last time on Freedom League Dark in the Multiverse of the Master Mage, our heroes got up to some monkey business. Or some ape business is probably the correct way I have learned to say. They met up with their old friend Overdrive at the end of their last adventure, and he let them know that Tracy had been turned into a gorilla and he had to flee a multiversal incursion in St. Louis/Central City. He was rescued by a red streak who disappeared in a flash, and he ran off to go grab the Freedom League Dark to help him out with his problem, even though he's been on a walkabout for the last year, not helping them with their problem. It's really cool of him. Our heroes made their way where they found a standoff between Aegis and Argus, two government organizations from two different universes who didn't trust each other and have a traditional history of being secretive and cloak and daggery espionage agencies. They also met a green man named John Jones, the Martian Manhunter, who filled them in a little bit about the DC Universe and about what's going on. They entered the city, where they were promptly turned into gorilla versions of themselves, and they had a joke of a fight against the Gorilla Justice League. It was over before it started. I was very surprised. Afterwards, our heroes managed to de-gorillify everyone, and they made their way back to the Nerean Nexus to discuss what Dave's been up to and talk about the future of the multiverse and what's been going on. And Dave has agreed to help them again with this ongoing crisis. At the end of this crisis, a golden helmet emerged from the orrery, the helmet of Dr. Fate, as known by the Freedom League Dark, who said that they had gone to somewhere in the DC universe to recover a 12th level intellect before Adrian Eldridge was able to. And in the process, they were attacked by the Curator, fused with that 12th level intellect, and Kent Nelson has been taken captive, and the helmet has come to find somebody to rescue them and ensure that they have the 12th level intellect before Adrian Eldridge does. We ended the adventure with Mortis putting the Helm of Naboo on his head. Which is where we pick up. Mortis, you put this helmet on your head. Go ahead.
As one does. Yeah.
As one does. Mortis, you put the helmet upon your head, and you are instantly transported into a strange mindscape. Sort of long, roiling, golden plateaus. You could see sort of ley line grids across the way and an endless starry sky above you, and a very large representation of the golden helmet looking down on you with these sort of pulsating white eyes. Looking at the eyes, you can see through them to outside of your body. And you feel yourself sort of put away from control of your body as Naboo seizes the reins. You are aware of what's going on. Naboo is able to speak to you. But you are essentially Dr. Fate for now.
Derek? He's still here?
What are those outside the helm see going on? Like,
He is sort of floating there. The golden helmet is on, but it has taken on sort of a skull aspect as he's put it on.
oh,
And it fits perfectly underneath his hood. But he just has a golden death mask now instead of his traditional silver skull mask.
well, at least it didn't turn into a Rambo knife.
Mm-hmm. In their efforts.
So I'll look at I'll sort of look um at, over at Andy and be like, this is bad, right, Resident? Like,
Probably.
It's probably par for the course at this point.
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, if like real people was bad, but this, you know,
I'm sure it's fine.
All right,
Mortis,
going
are
over there to
you-
poke him.
yeah. Like, Mortis, are you in there? Can you answer?
he didn't
Centuria?
respond to Centuria, did he?
I know. He didn't.
Poke.
And with that, Mortis goes insubstantial and floats up through the table and the casserole. And
Oh yeah, there's a casserole here.
I saved it. Was it? Was
No,
it
you
a
went
remember.
through it.
No, you saved the souffle.
souffle?
The
sorry,
souffle,
sorry.
that's right.
I'm like, I saved dinner. I know that was like half the thing was I saved dinner.
It was the most important thing. Alex just skipped over it. Jerk.
Well, you know,
Um,
it's been a
I
long
can-
time.
I kind of float up to the table, so I'm kind of hovering above everything now at this point. And I kind of reach out with my hands. All the white and silver trim on the Mortis's normal costume bleeds into a gold color, and the gauntlets and stuff around his boots look more like Dr. Fate's. They check on the gold texture.
Nice.
I didn't do that.
Why
We are
would you
doc-
think that? Sorry.
We are Dr. Fate now. Your friend is safe. But we are needed elsewhere. The forces of chaos have crashed two more worlds together, and if the interloper of Eldridge is to be stopped from his reign of chaos, then we must intercede.
Can you lead us to him?
I don't know if I'm a fate. Can I lead them to him?
Yes, I know where we're supposed to go.
Okay, cool. I'm just ad libbing here, so yeah.
No, you're doing great. You're doing beautiful.
Because someone did not give me any notes either. Just so, surprise.
Look,
You got as much notes as the Kenson. That's all you.
I'm very glad I set that low bar for myself.
So with that, Mortis will, Dr. Fate will snap his hands together, and as he pulls them apart, the energy spreads out and forms a giant Ankh energy field that we can then step through and go to wherever we need to go.
Perfect.
Or plot.
Yep. And the Ankh, you guys have seen Dr. Fate do his thing a couple of times in the Nerian Nexus. The Ankh this time is accompanied by a ghostly whale that is not traditionally there. And you feel the sort of presence of the Nexus, or of the Crossroads, as you step up to the Ankh to move through. And everybody...
Resident will step up to Dr. Fate Mortis and look at him
Dr.
dead
Mortis.
in the Dr. Mortis. Dr. Fate Mortis. And look at him in the where the recesses of the eyes would be, because I'm assuming the skull mask doesn't actually show them. And she'll say, and when this is done and we've rescued Kent Nelson, you're giving us Mortis back, right?
Dr. Fate will answer and say, I will have no use for this vessel once I have returned to Kent Nelson. Though I suspect you will want to care for this one more. He grieves deeply.
I know. Let's go then. The sooner we get this done, maybe the sooner I can start helping.
And, yeah, the Ankh is open, so... off y'all go.
Yep.
And your journey through the Ankh takes you to the farthest reaches of the Earth Prime galaxy. You notice the sort of swirling effervescence of the universe passing by, and after a brief moment, you find yourselves floating in space in a golden bubble, looking down over a beautiful Earth-like planet that appears to be covered in a scintillating dome. There are a number of drones and satellites flying about this space, but there doesn't appear to be any traffic up and off of the planet. It seems like almost like a natural preserve looking down below.
Would we recognize this at all?
If you
What could
have
possibly be?
if you have well-informed or expertise supervillain or expertise preserver lore, go ahead and give me a check. Man, I wish Alara was here.
I do have expertise supervillain, so I will give that a go.
Eidetic memory lets me roll. It's just this flat intelligence check, right, Alex?
Yes, yep. Then you get a +5 bonus to recall information you might know.
27 total on that roll.
It's a 24 for me.
Well, with a 27,
Nat 20!
holy cow!
Right.
The DC I was
I
There
was
it
looking,
like, I probably won't do better than Calvin, but I'll roll just in case.
the DC I was looking for was a 25. So, Bowman and Centuria, you both are reasonably sure that this is the Curator's planet. It is a planet on the outskirts of the galaxy, rumored to be near where the Preservers left our galaxy 50,000 years ago. It is a utopia that the Curator maintains for his collection. So the surface of the planet below you would be home to one-of-a-kind curiosities from across the galaxy. Extinct animal species, extinct sentient beings imprisoned below, priceless artifacts, mystical, all sorts of just rare and random things. You know that the Curator itself has an absolute control over the planet. It is able to manifest itself through the dome wherever it needs to at a moment's notice. And it has, Centuria, since you got a 32, I'll say that you were here during your Netherwar experience. And you know that the Curator operates out of a central citadel on the North Pole of the planet.
I need to go to the north part of the planet, I think.
Centuria, you also know the Curator is very dangerous.
Probably gonna die.
Just look up from the plate of food I brought with me. Sounds fun.
Regular Wednesday then.
Well,
Curator, his base is up there, but he's incredibly dangerous, so we need to decide, are we going to fight him, or are we going to avoid him? What are we gonna do?
Oh,
I mean,
choice.
if we're going up there, it's talk or talk hard.
So
Talk hard.
you said there's a lot of unique things on the planet, right?
Yes, if you're asking me.
Well, that was in character
Okay.
to the players that knew the new stuff about the Curator. So if we let a certain number of them out, would that shift his attention? And don't want to. I mean, I don't know if being in captivity is the only thing keeping them alive. But if he's a collector and we mess with his collecting, might have other things to worry about.
Is it similar to like a zoo?
Yeah, in a lot of ways.
the preferred term is menagerie.
Thanks, Dr. Fate.
I'm gonna give Dr. Fate a hero point for a good Dr. Fate joke.
I'm not
Alex.
100% sure, but I don't want to let something dangerous out that could potentially cause more harm than good.
This is obviously an Earth Prime location.
Yes.
I'm looking for anything from my universe.
Give me a perception check.
A certain, I don't know, any kind of ships and or vessels or anything else that might, Perception. Scroll.
And as Dr. Fate, you've got like crazy scrying powers. You can perceive pretty much all over the planet. I mean, not if you roll like that.
Oh my god.
So that for those at home, I rolled a 1. So, but I just got a hero point a minute ago.
You sure did.
For a really bad joke.
It's a good joke.
And you can do both.
It was in the category of jokes I think are funny.
I try this again. 21.
Perfect. With a 21, Dr. Fate, you sort of open up your mystic scrying and give a quick scan of the planet, and you do pick up some life signs and some energy signatures that you were used to from your dimension. Specifically, you can tell that there is a high presence of the Brainiac AI on the planet below. You also, as you're giving a cursory glance of the planet, you do see near the western continent of the planet, you sort of zoom in, there's a processing facility there where it looks like they are intaking some things to be added to the collection. There are 2 or 3 of these tall, hairless, gray, clothless humanoids wearing utility belts.
And no pants?
And no pants.
Sullivan Grundy won pants too.
And these humanoids seem to be trying to wrangle a motorcycle with a big skull on the front.
Oh no.
Can I be like, as I'm doing the scanning and scrying and stuff, can I actually be like making a little hollow image or whatever that I
Yeah.
can be sharing with the team?
Yeah, of course.
So basically just visual effects that they can then send me just, hey, this is what I saw, form panels of text boxes.
Yep. Those of you who met the Guardians of Haven will recognize the Chimera units.
Are there any resident will look at Dr. Fate? You seeing any people that are being intaken? Or is it just objects?
Do I see the motorcycle's owner?
He does not appear to be nearby. But Dr. Fate would know that the owner of that motorcycle is a Zarnian named Lobo.
Oh, not the motorcycle I thought. So
Like the wolf. Yeah, exactly.
I was thinking a different motorcycle from a different universe.
Mm-hmm.
One with fiery chains?
Yes.
Honestly, I had the logo vibe right away. That's like, oh no. Overdrive don't know.
Just
Okay.
poor Chimera is
The
trying to wrangle this motorcycle that's trying to fly away.
I believe that the automaton units are solely on Mass Shift. That is the owner of the motorcycle is who I believe it is. So he is quite capable of taking care of himself.
Okay. Then what do we do? Do we head towards the north part of the planet? Do we go right towards the base of operations? Do we try to do this surreptitiously?
My concern is my biggest concern is that there seems to be remnants of the Brainiac cure He is a powerful artificial being from my world, and he could quite possibly be the one that Adrian is looking for.
Can we
Okay.
separate? Can we find this Brainiac and contain it somehow? Should that be our plan? And maybe use this motorcycle thing as a distraction somehow?
I mean, if we wanted to cause chaos and destruction, which I generally love, um, putting the owner of the motorcycle in a path to cause as wide sweeping damage as possible is something we could always point the chaos in a useful and orderly direction.
Sounds like a plan.
I don't have a better one. I just don't want him. It's a him, right? Tearing
Yes.
through living quarters for the beings that are here.
He is an intergalactic bounty hunter by the name of Lobo, and I will project an image of Lobo.
Okay. I feel like we do need a distraction.
So do we just tell him this collector guy has a big bounty and let him go nuts?
He might already, if the motorcycle's fighting that hard,
From what I understand, he's also one of the last of his kind.
so he may already be imprisoned.
He may be a target for this collector. If he's anything like the Brainiac from my world, he tends to seek out soul survivors and lost remnants of cities and civilizations.
So if he's already captured, the motorcycle is just a trophy?
Well, it would be another part of the exhibit. But I'm sure if we free the motorcycle will take us to its owner.
Okay. That's good. Let's, for lack of anything better at this point, let's go ahead and do that.
Very well. And with that, Dr. Grimfate will just go very well and basically kind of do a side swipe, like a Star Wars side swipe, but an uncle will appear and side swipe us from here, and we'll just teleport down to
Nice.
the facility.
Dr. Fate turns the page in the comic.
Oh, this is also generally unpleasant. Ooh. Ooh.
And you are all onked onto the ground. The intake facility on the western continent is in the midst of a temperate forest. There are several large, tall pine trees around, high-loping hills. The buildings here are all the sort of non-distinct gray concrete that those of you who have been to Starhaven associate with preserver technology. It all seems to be self-sustaining, so there is the general hum of technological energy passing between buildings. You can see a number of these Chimera units walking around delivering packages. Some of them are moving into buildings carrying large baskets of things. Looks like food and toiletries and all sorts of things that they're taking from building to building. They don't seem to have noticed you all. The kerfluffle with the motorcycle is happening at the front gate. About 300 or 400 yards away from you.
Okay. There's a couple of Chimera units there.
Yeah, they both have gotten a little bit bigger and they're trying to hold on to it, but the motorcycle just seems like a mean machine.
Okay. You said we're just a couple 100 yards away.
Mhm.
100 yeah, yards. All right. Well, we want to do this, and we want to do this with some level of precision and stealth, then Resident will say, "Give me a minute." And there we go. I want to make sure I've got the distance. Pretty sure I do.
United Chimera Services.
Little brown belts.
All right. There it is. Oh, a couple 100 yards. So we need to get closer. Because it's not feet, you said, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. If we can get closer, I can see about putting a damper in what they're doing. But it needs to be quiet and careful.
So let's do that.
Is the whole gang gonna go over there, or is it just Resident?
I'm willing to lead you through. See if I can help you blaze a path.
It's
I
just,
mean, if you're trying more for stealth, I can
I'm trying.
raise
Yeah,
myself to invisibility if you're trying to keep a low profile. So still be visible.
I'd like to. I need to get a little bit closer if I'm going to try what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay as far away from you as possible because stealth is not my thing.
Well, I mean, it's not like Overdrive can't get you there in under a second if we need you.
You were gonna say in a flash.
No, I wasn't. I was not.
He just thought it loudly.
Mhm.
I mean, or if you want, Bowman and I will just get up in position. I imagine we can get pretty close.
Yeah.
Do you require some cover?
I mean, anything that can be I'm okay with the silent approach, just not great at it. I don't necessarily want to announce our presence outside of causing the disturbance. Unless, Overdrive, you think you can speed wake them over here.
Yeah.
The Chimeras?
I mean, I
Yeah.
assume they would get to resist if they're unwilling passengers,
Big beefy boys.
but
They call him the Streak.
yeah, I guess that will become the problem if they decide to resist.
Can you just speed wake your allies over there?
I could do that, yes.
And when they're right there, they don't have to worry about sneaking up on anyone. It's a
That's true.
surprise.
You could do that
It's up to
Yeah.
you.
if the allies are willing.
Yeah, we can do that.
Oh, I hate
Alex.
this part.
Yes.
I would like to spend a hero point and power shot my spooky environmental effects
Mhm.
to basically create a ring of fog around the area that they're going to be at to dampen sound going in and out.
Awesome. Perfect. Mortis cast silence.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you
Grim
could spend a
Fate.
hero point, or you can do extra effort if you want to do that. If you don't want to spend the hero point, you could just go
I'll
for
do
protect.
I'll do extra effort and Grim Fate, as Warden Maximus has dubbed me.
Right.
in
That word
chat.
Maximus is so smart. All right, so Grim Fate, you summon this fog that is sound dampening around where the chimeras are fighting the motorcycle. Overdrive, you're able to speed wake everybody in at that point if you want.
Yes.
Excellent.
Zip.
So you zip on in, and you just drop everybody off in front of the motorcycle. What happens?
I mean, that is our goal. That makes the most sense to me. Yeah, at least initially. And if things go sideways, I can speedway come right back out again.
Awesome.
Yep. So as we come out of the speedway, Resin is going to pull on the power for Lapis Lazuli. And I'm going to use extra effort to get Subtle 2 on Glacial Crash.
Perfect.
And try to catch both of the chimeras and not the motorcycle.
Not the motorcycle.
In what appears to probably be transparent, like completely transparent ice. You can't even see like the edges of it. They basically just seem to be kind of like suspended.
Perfect. One of them will succeed on the. Oh no, he's vulnerable because he's surprised, so they'll both fail the dodge check.
Okay.
And then the second dodge check. They both fail by the second degree, so they're both defenseless and immobilized.
All right. So that should then free. If they had a hold on the motorcycle, that should free it.
Yes. And in my mind, this glacial crash is almost like a flash freezing. Like,
yep.
It's not like an ice cube that they're stuck in, but they're sort of frozen in place.
Yes, exactly. And there's like this really thin layer of ice that's completely coating them, but you cannot, like, unless you're right looking up at it, you cannot see it.
Are they able to speak while they're frozen this way?
I wouldn't think so. I mean, hindered and vulnerable, defenseless, and immobilized completely. I don't know. I think that's up. I would imagine that's more up to you.
If your intention is to gag them, you are able to gag them.
Yeah, the intention, I mean, usually the intention with ice is to completely render them incapable of doing anything.
Awesome. Well, they are frozen. And the motorcycle will erupt out of their grasp and sort of rocket around for a second, which is sort of fun noise in the silence bubble that you guys are in. It's almost like a far away pillow fight. And it sort of hovers for a second at you, nods at you, Resident, and turns around and rockets into the intake facility.
Look over at Dr. Fate and the rest of the group. Well, I guess that answers our question as to whether or not Lobo's here. Should we follow?
Our plan? Yes.
Let's go. These two won't be like this for much longer, and I'd rather get as far of a lead as we can.
Avenue will speak on. Drop the fog cloud.
Awesome. So they are frozen. You drop the fog cloud, and you are all free. You hear the motorcycle at this point. It sounds like its muffler is made to not muffle sound, but to increase sound.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no alarm going on, but you do see the chimeras are moving with haste in the direction that the motorcycle went. They don't seem concerned.
Overdrive? Chase the motorcycle?
No, I hate this word too much.
Anyone go along for the ride?
Yes.
What she said.
Hey, Dwight.
Gatorman's like, why did we eat before this adventure? Awesome. And Overdrive, you're able to keep up with the motorcycle. It moves pretty fast, but you are the master mage of velocity. So it is crashing through walls and sort of plowing down chimeras that get in its way. And it arrives... this path of destruction leads down into the bowels of this facility, where you do see there are a couple of chimera units standing in front of a pulsating energy field, behind which is standing Lobo, sort of a tall, pale-skinned, intergalactic bounty hunter / biker. A lot of black leather, wild mane of black hair, and pupilless red eyes. And he has a large cigar that he is chewing on.
Does he look like he's captive in this field, or is he sort of overseeing something or protecting it?
He is captive in the field. It looks like he is in a cell. And the chimeras are sort of putting the final touches in on his exhibit.
Can we see any sort of like controls for the cell?
There do not appear to be control panels.
Okay. Might just need to apply an EMP after this.
Do you all sneak in after the motorcycle, or are you sort of just coming along as quickly as you can after it?
I mean, given that the motorcycle isn't concerned with stealth, I don't know that. I don't know, Resident. What do you think? I mean,
I want to use the motorcycle as cover, so the motorcycle crashes ahead, and we take up either a position where we can watch what's going on, and maybe the motorcycle leads them away or distracts them long enough for us to do something without them noticing us.
okay. I mean, I missed a lot of stream, and Overdrive wasn't there, so like I don't know what these Chimera unit things are. I just know they all look the same.
Right. I think Overdrive was there for the meeting with Chimera, but I don't think Chimera said very much about who or what it was, what he was.
No.
Whether a Chimera or the Chimera. I mean, yeah, it's all
Right.
it's all in the subtleties. Right. If there is a spot inside where I can sort of put people behind cover so we can watch the unfolding drama of the motorcycle in the force field,
Perfect.
I will try to do that.
Yeah, you could find an alcove around the corner, basically. The motorcycle rockets up. It slams into the energy field, and Lobo laughs a deep belly laugh. He's like, "Don't worry about me. Go get Lundgren first, and then come back."
I'm sorry. Go get who?
Lundgren. And the motorcycle sort of it makes a rattling, rumbling noise, and he says, "Don't backtalk me. Go get Lundgren first." And the chimeras are like, "This is most unusual."
Look at Dr. Fate. Who's he? Who's Lunderin?
Do not know.
See, at first I thought it was just me, but clearly, we're missing some key information here.
Okay.
I mean, there's only 3 if you want to freeze them too. Get them out.
I'm good.
Grim Fate, if you want to make an investigation or persuasion check for me, I'll see what you know about Lundgren.
Investigation or what?
Or persuasion.
No, they both suck. Okay. I got a whopping 20.
That's pretty good. Dr. Fate, you've heard the name Lundgren in reference to Lobo before. Specifically, Dolph Lundgren.
Really?
What? Wow.
You know that there is a space dolphin he is friends with named Lundgren.
He dies. He dies.
See, I'm flashing back to that movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme, Universal Soldiers, where he's like, they're reanimated soldiers, and he flips out, and he's got this necklace of ears, and he's shaking it at Van Damme. Did you hear what I'm saying? It's kind of scary. All right.
They're turning that into an RPG.
Stop. Really?
Yep.
Of course they
Wow. But there is a huge, there is a bizarre number of licensed RPGs coming out. Like,
And most of them are by the same company. Yep.
Yeah.
Everyday Heroes by the folks over at Evil Genius Games.
So does the motorcycle take off, and we're left here watching the Chimera units continue putting things into Lobo's cell?
No, the Chimera units go chasing after the motorcycle as it rockets off somewhere deeper into the facility.
Okay.
I'm going to
Red-
take a wild guess that these cells are set to contain who the the subject is. And Lobo cannot teleport. So I'm going to attempt to teleport into Lobo's cell.
You are able to teleport into Lobo's cell.
I believe it is time to leave. What's the name of Lobo's race again?
Zarnian.
Zarnian.
Zarnian. I believe it is time to leave, Zarnian.
Gold Dome, you going through a goth face?
It is complicated.
Well, I think I'm okay here, actually, if you want to go do the hero thing.
You are needed to cause chaos.
Give me an insight check.
Why are you picking all these skills that Mortis sucks at that Dr. Fate would actually be pretty good at?
I'm giving you a bonus in my head for Dr. Fate.
Okay. Okay, because Mortis sucks at this kind of stuff. I got a whopping 12 on that roll.
You get the look. You see the look on his face and his body language. You kind of get the impression that he's like, oh, what? Did you say that you want me to cause chaos? That you want me to cause chaos?
Directed chaos.
That's like the opposite of your thing, right?
Very much so.
Well, if you can figure out a way to get me out of here, I'm happy to go frag whoever you want me to.
Grab hold of him and I teleport back out to the rest of the group.
You are teleporting out, and you pass through. Lobo hits the energy field as you're teleporting past it, and he fries and falls down on the ground.
That's why I teleported and didn't fly through it.
That's true. The curator
Gotta
has
admit,
preserver technology.
It was kind of funny.
Well, that was most unexpected.
You're telling me. And he sits up smoking. He takes his cigar and he puts it on his arm and relights it.
Does there look like there's any technology around that could potentially lower the force field?
Give me a technology check.
To look
Okay.
for the technology?
Give me a
Of course,
perception check.
Jason.
Okay.
Centuria casts punch.
I was like, 28.
The Master Major punching.
Centuria, with your microscopic vision, as you're sort of scanning around, you see there are no obvious control panels or anything like that, but you can see in the walls where various power supplies are feeding into the energy field. You think that the controls are probably keyed to the Chimera units themselves.
So there's no controls to put down the force field, but I could help destroy the power going into it. Maybe weaken it enough to get him through, or get it down altogether. Maybe that the chimeras themselves are the things that could help. Actually,
Got it
lower it.
right. If there's emitters and there's a power source, just cut off the power.
Makes sense.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
Today's
Go ahead.
question of the day, I chose the wrong member of Guardians of Haven, is what I'm saying.
Go for it, Centuria.
All right. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna rip the shit out of the walls.
Excellent. Just give me a. I guess I have to roll a toughness check for the walls, not you. What's your DC again?
Just for what? My unarmed?
Yeah, yep.
Plus
5.
30 plus 5, 37, 38.
I cast collateral damage.
Centuria takes a couple of good punches, but you are able to get through the walls here. You pound in, and as you do, there is the loud cracking noise of glass as you shatter into where the power is flowing from whatever source it originates from. It sort of crackles out with this sort of reality-bending blue and black spatter pattern as it fills into the air. It doesn't get on you. But as that energy dissipates, the energy fields all through this cell block go down.
Whoops.
Oh.
Oh no. Oh no.
We've got
Oh.
local.
I'm sure it's fine.
Well done, Power Girl. I mean,
And-
Centuria.
Thanks.
And Lobo will wander out. I'll say, "What was that noise? That was is that you, Blondie?
Yeah.
Can you hit me like that?"
Centuria will sort of like narrow her eyes at him because she's not 100% sure if he's joking or not.
Lobo has tangled with Kryptonians back home. I'm sure he could probably withstand your assault.
Withstand's a strong word for finish quickly.
Shouldn't you be going to get your motorcycle?
Yeah, Centuria is uncomfortable.
He whistles real loud, and the motorcycle comes rocking down the hallway, followed by the Chimera units.
Is there a dolphin riding the motorcycle?
There is a dolphin riding the motorcycle.
That's new.
It's like a Red 13 riding a chocobo. I've seen that image. I cannot unsee it.
And
First image.
wandering out of a couple of the other cells, you do see there's a few other individuals. There appears to be a chipmunk who wanders out wearing a brown jacket. It looks like there is a robot of some description, sort of silvery chrome, humanoid shaped, with a number of weird bells and whistles, and one very large head. And he seems to be in despair about this whole thing.
The resident will step forward to the rest of them and to the ones that have come out of the cell and say, "Are any of you good in a fight, or should we get you back to the intake section and get you out of here as quickly as possible?"
The android sort of sighs heavily and says, "Nothing really matters."
Okay.
Centuria like nods, like felt that.
Resident looks at the chipmunk.
Detective.
Detective.
The chipmunk in the brown leather jacket looks up.
Is
at
it an
you.
aviator jacket?
It isn't. It's a bomber jacket.
Well, then, yeah,
Yes.
slightly
it's
different than just leather jacket, Alex.
Yes. Sorry.
Specify.
He's not wearing a hat though. Importantly. He sort of looks up at you and says, "Well, I'm pretty good at investigating, but I don't know if I'm any good at a fight."
Yeah, I think we should probably just get these out of here.
Yeah. Dr. Fate, can you take him somewhere safe? We'll head deeper into the facility.
I don't know of any places on this world is actually safe.
You got us here relatively quickly. I'm imagining you can teleport somewhere that's not here to drop them off.
Take them back to the Nexus.
I'm kind of like we're out way out deep in the near the outer reaches. I'm trying to figure out where I can take them. I don't know.
You could take them back to the Nexus. I mean, you can teleport there and back pretty quickly.
Yeah, but I don't want them. I don't
Take
know
them to
how
Star-
half these people. I don't know how half these people are, so I don't necessarily
Hmm.
want to take them to Nexus.
Take him to Starhaven.
There's a bunch of freaking freaking shithole people on there anyway.
Wow.
Drop him off in Havana.
The problem is I'm Dr. Fate. Dr. Fate does not know where Starhaven is. He's not familiar with
That's
Starhaven.
true.
So,
But Dr. Fate can talk to Mortis, and Mortis would know.
Take him to your apartment, Mortis. Have Nick watch him.
Jeez.
Yeah, actually, Mortis is like, "Oh, you're in outer space, Starhaven." So yeah, I'll take them to Starhaven.
Perfect.
It was either that or Tamaran.
Tamarin. Oh my god. So you pop over to Starhaven real quick, and Corporal Antilles is there. And he sort of looks at you with a start when you arrive with these two strange beings. Do you stick around to say anything, or you just leave them there and fly off?
They were held prisoner by a being known as the Curator. They have since been freed. Tend to them. And help her out.
Hat Rack looks down. Okay. This is fine.
Oh, that rack.
The Hat Rack hanging out with Dale and Marvin, the paranoid android. I'm so here for it.
We have so many fun NPCs in Starhaven.
Glad to misfit heroes.
Awesome. And Lobo will start creating general chaos as he's fighting the chimeras and making all of the distraction anyone could possibly need.
We will push towards the opposite direction, heading towards the North Pole.
Excellent. You guys are able to get there fairly quickly between your speed wake and your teleporting and all that fun stuff. And Centuria, you seem to remember this place. It's similar to the one from your dimension. It's kind of a tall, hovering, almost like a pyramid. Although the top has been cut off, so more like a ziggurat than a pyramid. Made of a single piece of large black stone. And all of you who have magical perception are instantly able to detect that there is a powerful magical force in the area. You sense Adrian Eldritch's influence, similar magic to the magic you sensed on Lofandi when the planets were brought together. But there is another powerful energy that is fighting back against Eldritch's power, trying to maintain the Curator's world in its place in space. There does not appear to be any external activity on the pyramid. It's very placidly floating there. But you do sense that the mystical conflict is happening somewhere inside.
I'll look over at Dr. Fate. Man, you can feel that, right?
Adrian's chaos is palpable. Should we intercede?
Yes. What else are we here for?
And with that, a giant Ankh appears above us, and as it goes down, and we all teleport like Star Trek. Teleport.
Beam me up, Fady.
Gatorman's molecules get rearranged. That dinner goes elsewhere.
Gatorman is having a bad day.
I was
Speed waked
happy.
around, teleported around.
I was happy when I saw Dolphin on a motorcycle. Everything else,
Everything else is bad, okay?
not here for it.
Perfect. So, Dr. Fate, you're able to get everybody inside the pyramid. This facility is definitely less display purposes and more administrative. You can tell that there are a lot of Chimera units here bustling to and fro. But these Chimera units are supplemented with these tall chrome robots with pulsating yellow dots on their chest in the shape of a triangle.
Oh no.
That's not good.
And you can see that the Chimera units and these these more robotic servitors seem to be not fighting, but you can tell that they definitely have like a workplace rivalry thing going on, which from what you know about Chimera units is strange.
No one escapes the Alpha Lanterns. I'm sorry.
Ah,
So what else do we see in here? Do we see the mystical conflict happening?
You do not. There are a number of terminals in here that appear to have some kind of readouts on them. You can give me an expertise magic check or a technology check. One of them will be easier than the other one.
Yup. But you're getting expertise magic. Oof, 26.
26, you're looking at it, you could tell that this is definitely measuring what's happening, but you're not sure how to make heads or tails of it. The computer language is different than the way you would express what's happening.
Yep.
if there's an eldritch, kind of start sniffing down the hallways for the stronger scent.
Give me a perception check.
Could I help Resident translate some of that with a technology check?
Sure.
31 on technology.
Wow.
Oh,
There's
no.
a 1. All I smell is beefcake.
All you smell is the puke from your...
Right? That's what I was thinking.
But as Bowman, you get a 31, you're sort of looking over the shoulder of one of the Chimera units as Resonant is looking, trying to make heads or tails of the readouts. With a 31, you're able to sort of translate for Resonant a little bit. You could tell that this is not an ongoing conflict, at least not in the sense that Eldritch is here actively casting the spell. But there is some sort of very powerful technological device in this ziggurat that is maintaining your space-time location, your multiversal location.
Can I figure out where in the facility that device is?
You can. It is near the top of the ziggurat. And you're able to download a facility map that leads sort of to that chamber. The
Right,
Chimera units don't seem to mind your presence here.
I don't know if I should worry about that yet.
As a matter of fact, one of them will look up at you and say, "Is there anything I can do to assist you with your inquiry, sir?"
No, you can go about your business.
I
Affirmative.
knew it was coming.
As you wish, and he'll go back to working on his terminal.
Seem friendly.
Too friendly.
Why are they not worried about the fact that we're here?
Like the board.
Maybe they have bigger problems.
But they're just going about their tasks. They're not worried about anything else that's happening here.
Maybe it's the task they're trying to complete that's more important.
Alex, when I was here last time or in my universe, is this how they were?
No, the Chimeras were sort of feral, trying to fight you off.
This isn't how they were before. Something is different.
Did they have the cool necklace before?
Did they?
What necklace?
Don't know. Whatever the bling is with the big yellow
Oh,
triangle.
no,
on
those
their
are on the
bellies.
robots. Sorry, those aren't on the
What
Chimera
necklace?
units.
Insert plot
Chimeras
point.
have
remember
gone
plot
Flavor
point.
Flav. Oh,
I
my.
feel like there's a necklace now, and Alex is like, "How did they know about the necklace?"
How- What is a necklace but a belt for the head?
Oh my
That's a headband. You mean a belt for the neck?
That's a whole
Oh.
different thing. That's
Oh
a
my-
kink.
Oh, Jesus.
A cape is the necklace for the shoulders. Let's.
Joker.
This is worse than that hot dog sandwich thing.
What? Oh man.
It is, and you're wrong. Moving on.
Ape.
Oh my
Um,
god.
No, I just
Um,
keep thinking of clothes and what sort of belts they are.
Um,
And down the rabbit hole we go.
A watch
Yep.
is a belt for your arm.
Oh,
That would make sense.
well, these guys are walking around and being polite. I'm just gonna see if I can catch up to the one that just spoke to me and say, "What task are you currently trying to complete?"
We are maintaining the multiversal specifications of the Curator's planet. There is an incursion taking place.
And are these other robots here assisting you?
We do not know who they are.
Are they part of this incursion?
We are not sure. But they appear to be assisting us with our task.
Okay, so they're helping you. Well, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
The Curator may know more.
Can you tell us where to find the curator and any other guests he might currently have in the facility?
He is in the Axiom stone chamber.
Is that at the top of the building?
Indeed. Would you like me to take you there?
No, we can find it.
If you insist. Is there anything else I can assist you with today?
Anyone in there with him?
Yeah, is there anyone in there with him?
There are approximately 13,247,323 people in there with him.
God likes to party.
Thank you for the specifications.
Can you elaborate on that, please? Who are his guests and why are they in this one chamber? How are they in this one chamber?
He blinks. Elaboration. You require elaboration.
Yes.
They are being maintained there.
By there, do you mean the entire planet or just in that one room?
In that one room. And he sort of turns and walks over to one of the androids and brings them over. Please repeat your inquiry to this drone.
Okay. How does Adrian have so many guests in his chambers and who are they and where are they from and what do they do?
That's a lot of
Number
questions.
2.
Answer my questions 3.
Answer my question several.
And the robot sort of processes your question. The entity of which you speak, the curator, not Adrian, the curator, he has a new item from his collection in the room with him. It is a miniaturized city. That is where Brainiac has gone.
Well, that makes more sense.
Would you like me to take you to him?
You know what? I'll take you up on that offer.
The Chimera unit looks offended.
Wow.
We can all go.
Very well.
Where's the robot develops emotions long enough to be annoyed?
And they will turn around and lead you further into the ziggurat if you wish.
Yeah.
Into the lion's den.
Bowman developing his paternal instincts. Door therapy must be working.
Wow.
I like to think so.
You know, Chimera, you're like a son to me, the son I never had.
Wow.
Harsh.
Oh, poor Jason. That's why he gets to be Bowman in 3 years, though.
3 now?
Fate has changed.
All right. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, Fate's Mortis now. So, you all make your way. They lead you through, and you can see that this flurry of activity is continuing in several chambers across the ziggurat, leading to an elevator that leads up. These robots and these chimera units, they're not working in tandem just yet, but you can tell they're working on the same projects. Some of them are sort of bumping into each other, working on the same computers, and they're just all very sort of walking over each other through this. The elevator leads up to the top observation deck of the ziggurat, where you can see an enormous double door with these strange alien figures carved into them. Very tall, thin, elongated aliens with these very strange triangular heads. And the chimera unit and the robot open the door, revealing this hub of sort of glowing blue lights, pillars that stretch from floor to ceiling that goes up about 30 feet in this chamber, large arcs of blue energy passing from pylon to pylon. There are a bunch of these robots in here, including several that are much larger units than the ones that you saw downstairs, and a few chimeras, along with being you recognize as the curator, who is a tall blue robot with a golden face mask. He is floating in the center of the room, looking at it's a pyramid. It's a blue, shining pyramid made of some kind of glass-like stone. And there is a bubble of energy around it, the energy of which is coming from the bottom of the pyramid into a domed city underneath it on a pedestal. And the curator will look over his shoulder at all of you and say, well, this is an interesting development. And we will go to our quick break from there, I think, before we see what's going on with the curator and the bottled city of Kandor and Brainiac and all this nonsense. So, thank you, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for bearing with us while we ran off for our quick break. Our heroes tonight have been following Dr. Fate to the Curator's museum planet, where the Curator keeps all of its favorite unique things in their blister pack so that their resale value is perfect.
Wow.
Near mint.
Near mint. Everybody's at 9.8 here.
It's a lot of pressure, man.
Don't bend your corners.
Too late.
Hate y'all.
But they released a distraction in the form of Lobo and his motorcycle and the space dolphin Lundgren. They made their way to the ziggurat that is the control center for the entire planet, and they met a couple of very helpful Chimera units and Brainiac drones who have been fighting off the multiversal incursion begun by Adrian Eldritch. Our heroes were led to the top of the ziggurat, where they found the curator working on this large glassy pyramid, underneath which is a city in a bottle on a display case. So, and bottle is, it's not like a ship in a bottle. It's a domed cloche style thing, with towering skyscrapers and you can see little flying cars flying around on the inside. And do you make your presence known to the curator?
He already knows we're here because he said, "Well, this is a curious
Yes, that is correct.
development."
So then do we just commence with the punching?
I don't know. I'm not sure there is punching to be had at the moment.
It's
There's
the
always
curator.
punching to be had.
It's the curator. He's got a punchable face.
Commence
very
with the
true.
understanding, and then we commence
Multiple
with the
people in
punching.
here have a punchable face. She
Oi.
looks over at Dave.
Wow. The time is 8:42.
I held off a lot.
I was gonna say,
And all's well.
Shots fired, but I got a full clip.
The curator will float down here into the middle of his goons.
Does he look normal?
He does. He does not appear to have the green triangle that Dr. Fate would associate with Brainiac. And importantly, the Brainiac drones, the color of their triangle is not what you would associate with Brainiac either. It is a similar yellow to the Curators.
Co-opted them, or so we can assume. Hey, there's three.
He says, "What brings the Freedom League Dark to my humble abode?"
Adrian and his machinations.
You are aware that Adrian Eldritch has attempted a multiversal incursion on this
Yes.
planet. Attempted to some degree of success, and he looks over at the Brainiac drones around him.
You're aware of it too?
While that's going on, Dr. Fate is going to take advantage of the fact that Mortis has soul sensing powers.
Mm.
And is going to look for the Brainiac unit.
Give me a perception check to see if you can zero
And
in.
this is where you got to figure out if Brainiac has a soul or not.
Let me text Charles real quick.
That's the wrong Brainiac. That absolutely has a soul.
Yep.
Debatable.
Mm,
Brainiac 12 can love. Is that the mark of a soul, being able to love?
Free will? Yeah.
Hmm.
20.
Mortis, with your soul sight search, you are sort of feeling around, and you can sense, some sort of life form energy that connects all of the Brainiac drones, and there is a very small amount of that in the bottled city.
Oh, tangent. For those of you going to Yukon, that is a triggering phrase for Jason, so make sure to use it. Do I sense anything?
hmm.
I just watched that vein in his forehead pulse. It's great.
I have dark vision. That's my least favorite thing players say to me.
Thought it was that's not funny, but okay.
As you walk into the dark room, I have dark vision. Shut up. Let me flavor text.
So yes, we know what Adrian has attempted to do.
Well, the situation is under control here. I do not require your services.
You don't know what he's after, do you?
Oh, I'm sure he's well aware of what he's after.
I
Which is
suspect.
why he's attempted to hide it.
What are you talking about? I have my suspicions about what he is after, but what is it you think he's after?
I think the play here is you telling us what you suspect, and we'll tell you whether or not we believe you're right.
You see, he has a very Annoyed is not the right word. Vexed. He has a very vexed expression on his
Ooh,
face.
Good word.
This is a very good verb.
Assume I am not allowed to tell you what I think he's looking for. My programming forbids it. And you see as he says that, that sentence just grates at his whole being.
So he. Well, that throws Resonant for a loop because when we were told what Adrian was after, it was the bottled city with the 12th level intellect. But if the if the curator can't say it, President kind of starts back and goes, "Is he actually after another preserver stone?"
Give me a really high insight check, Resonant.
Give me a really okay. That's not a really high insight check. That's a 29.
I'm going to give everybody a hero point, actually, for the first half, too. I forgot to do that before we went to break.
So I can go ahead and re-roll that with the hero point that you just gave us. Because that was absolutely not a good... All right, it's a
Wow.
39. It's a 39 now.
Disrespectful,
Same freaking
roll
roll.
20.
That's right.
That was mean.
Like, you get the same roll again.
With a 39, Resonant, when you... Are you mentioning the Preserver Stones to him or to the group behind you?
It's in general to everyone,
Okay.
but she's still looking at him.
When you mention the Preserver Stones, a slight look crosses his face that is like, how do you know about that? And you do suspect that the programming that he is not allowed to talk about is related to the Preserver Stones in some way.
Okay.
Centuria glances back at Resonant and gives her a, like, are we beating this guy's ass look? Or.
Hold off a sec. So, you think you have everything under control, but you know what he's after. We know what he's after. He can't be allowed to have it. And you're fighting off the incursion. You don't have a lot of... She looks around the room to the... assuming the drones are kind of... Are they just standing there, or are they seemingly tasked with doing something?
They are watching at the moment.
They're watching at the moment.
You can see that the energy is still passing from the stone floating over the bottled city down into the bottled city. That seems to be happening on its own. But there are 4 pylons across the way that are feeding energy into that stone.
Where is that stone?
It's right here in the middle of the Chimera units.
Okay.
So Resident will continue and say, you seem to be devoting a lot of power to keeping it contained, keeping the multiverse incursion at a stalemate. Do you want something to push that beyond? Or are you unwilling to accept assistance when you know there will be a price for it?
He hovers there for a moment and he says, the incursion is being dealt with. I am in the process now of returning this city to its original universe. When it goes there, the incursion should cease.
Except it won't. And you know this. All you're doing is delaying.
You had a 39 insight check. He I believe. What happened to Deuce? Oh no!
Come
Everybody's picture's all screwy.
Dang. Hello, Umbral Corvus. Thank you for joining us this evening. As you walk into the room, it's filled with blinding light. Yes.
Ah!
Okay, now let me fix everybody's faces real quick.
Put another quarter in the internet machine.
Cat's having to play Dr. Grim.
Grim Fate.
Oh no, I would not be good at that.
Man, everybody's wrong now.
I'll guarantee.
I feel like I could play a speedster.
Well, I understand that it's easy and they're OP.
Exactly.
Roll something at 23 and be happy.
Could you play a speedster that could roll initiative higher than everybody else, though, Calvin?
Well,
Could
no,
you?
no.
Oh.
Absolutely
Shade.
not.
Shots fired from Andy. What is happening here?
Oh, not even. That's just true.
No,
Yeah,
that
it's just-
just happens in real life.
Yeah.
Jason still go faster than him.
Yep.
Half the time, yeah.
All right, faces are fixed.
Faces are fixed.
Cat's.
He looks at you, Resonant, and he says, I have sent Adrian away.
One Adrian. You've sent one Adrian away.
Perhaps we should compare notes.
Have your robot stand down first.
I want to punch a stupid face.
That's Centuria's favorite song. The robots will fold down into powered off mode. But the chimeras stay standing in the back.
Yeah, because they're working. Their energy's being directed towards the bottled city, right?
They seem to be monitoring it. The pylons here are what the energy is being
Got it.
fed from.
All right. Resonant will head in. So what did the Adrian look like? Standard, or did he have a mustache? Goatee?
It's the goatee.
Missing an eye?
What edition was he?
Ooh.
The Adrian Eldritch that attacked us was missing an eye.
Then that's not the one from our reality.
The prime Adrian, so to speak.
Yes.
Do you know where he is?
Probably one step ahead of us. Whatever you're doing to keep this multiverse incursion from happening is playing directly into his hands in some way, shape, or form. He has seen this. He knows what we are doing. We've encountered it, this effect, however he's doing it. We've encountered it before.
Have you successfully repelled it?
Success is in the fact that all of us are still alive. It hasn't gotten us. It's cost us things. Everything has come with a price. It's a Pyrrhic victory, if a victory at all. The only way to stop Adrian seems to be to do something that he could not see coming. Some event that he could not plan for.
What is it you suggest?
I don't know.
The Adrian who came here, I banished him to the city.
You banished him to the city, which most likely was what he wants.
Exactly what he wanted.
Well, unfortunately for him, I've also ensured that no magic may be cast within the city.
Except we can feel it. We can feel Adrian's magic.
That is quite impossible.
I assure you it's not.
It's okay. You can admit that you messed up.
I do not know this
Is it-
Centuria. I do not like its manners as much as the other one.
You won't like its fist to your face as much as you didn't like the other ones.
Question for you, Alex.
Mhm.
How much do I know about the Bottle City of Candor? More importantly, how much do I know about the 31st century?
About the
Heroes.
31st century? You mean the Legion?
Yes, and a certain 12th level intellect named Brainiac.
Dr. Fate knows many things about many things. Give me a D20 plus expertise magic check.
Because they have traveled back to our time multiple times.
Indeed. They love slumming it in the 21st century. Or the 20th century when they came out.
27?
With the 27, Dr. Fate, you do know that there is a 12th level intellect named Brainiac 12. Or, yeah, Brainiac.
Right.
5.
Brainiac 5, that's right. I was going to say Brainiac 9, but that's not correct. There's a lot of Brainiacs. This universe is...
Charles is going to be very upset with you.
No, don't tell Charles.
Cat.
I won't tell him.
Brainiac 5. Brainiac 5, and he tends to hang out with Supergirl, and they do occasionally return to the Bottled City of Candor to visit her parents.
And they have tangled with the Emerald Empress, which is probably how I know them, because of her being magic and stuff.
Indeed. You
That's the-
suspect that it's possible that there's an Emerald Empress situation going on in the Bottled City that may be aiding Adrian in his evil schemes. But her power is sort of dwarfed by Adrian's power on the magic sensing scale.
Did you leave any of the toys in the toy box, Alex? Or did you?
Nope.
Why
threw
would
them
I?
all out.
Just curious.
Wait till you guys meet Crypto later.
Um. I believe Adrian's hunt for answers on how to locate the stone lie in the Bottle City.
Well, I will be moving the stone beyond anyone's reach as soon as the city is removed from my premises.
And yet you're not taking to heart what I said. Anything that you had planned, Adrian's already seeing. He's already seen it. He's planned for it.
He has no interest in the Axiom Stone.
Are you sure?
He
No.
has interest in anything that brings him power.
No one knows it
Any
exists.
I promise you he does.
We knew it existed before we arrived.
Where are you getting your information?
From my programmers.
We got ours from the Great Big Book of Everything, so
He fights for
We got
the
ours
users.
from God.
We invoked the Kenton himself. Oh, no, sorry.
That's true, you did get the book from the Kenton himself.
Mhm.
And he will look at you. He says, if you received information of the Axiom Stone from the source book, that is most unusual.
I believe. So can I, Alex? How much does Dr. Fate know about the Emerald? The fact that think the Emerald Empress is in the Bottle City and stuff like that? Is that just speculation or?
Give me a perception check. We'll see if you.
I don't want to.
See if you can
Metagame.
sense her mystical energy. I'm very excited for Supergirl and Centuria to meet.
It's gonna actually roll. Oh. No. I'm bad at this. Let me hero point that.
Oof.
Roll20 is
Is it
not
too-
being kind with dice rolls this evening.
Nope. It's like, where have you guys been for the last month?
It's like a 6, 11, 2, 1.
I got
That's
a rock.
21 total.
With a 21, Dr. Fate, you sort of focus in on the mystical energies, and you can sense the magic dampening runes that the curator has put on the glass that is supposed to be preventing magic from being usable within the city. But beyond that, deeper into the city itself, you get the very faint detection of the Emerald Empress's mystic profile. It's very hard to read over Adrian Eldritch's own power within the city, but you can tell that if it's possible that this energy is just his latent magical ability and he's not able to use his power, or he's in possession of it. It's hard to tell from this scale. Because they're also really little right now.
Adrian is in the bottled city and has found allies, arcane allies, enemies in the far future that we have tangled with in the past from my universe.
See, this is what I'm thinking happened. Adrian knew what you would do when he attempted the incursion. He sent another reality version of him, one that would not conform to the runes that you placed inside that bottle to dampen his magic. One whose magic is adverse to the runes so that would not be affected by it. Whereas you would believe that it's Adrian, it's magic, therefore whatever you put in place to subvert it would be subverted. Instead, he played on what he knew you would do, and that you would be complacent in just driving it out the way you wanted to, sending the city away, taking it out of the hands of us. We can help. Make it so that we are not affected by the runes. Get us inside the city. Let us drive Adrian and his ally out. Then get us out before we try to undo the incursion of this multiverse into yours.
I think that is eminently reasonable.
Chaos finds a way with whatever is blind.
While we're in that city, you have to do something that Adrian would not expect you to do. Anything that you do that is completely polar opposite to what you would do in this situation could throw a wrench into his plans. That could give us an edge.
There is one thing I can do that no one would predict happening. I will send you into the city.
And you'll make sure that we're not affected by your runes.
Correct.
Well, Centuria, you wanted to punch something. How's Adrian?
Turia is sort of glaring at the guy whose name just escaped Cat's brain.
Curator?
I wanted
That's
to call him
overdrive.
about 18 other things.
That's overdrive.
Hey,
Um,
thanks for helping everybody.
but you'll do nothing to the city while we're in it.
Indeed.
Then Adrian's face will do.
Well, unless we come under attack by the other Adrian, in which case I will do everything I can to send you into the universe this one is supposed to be from.
Then do it.
The runification process will take some time. But I will see a couple of chimeras take care of that for you while I prepare the city for your arrival.
Okay.
While I invent Brainiac's miniaturization technology, because that's not from here.
While they're doing that, can I sniff out to see if I know if there was one Adrian that showed up, but if the other one did or was here previously?
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Sure. Let's put that impressive news to the task. 34.
Nice. 34 is a good roll. As you are smelling, Gatorman, you sort of take in the passage of beings through here. You could smell that there was a conflict between the Curator and Eldritch. It seems the Curator won. But you do not get a sense of any other Eldritches arriving here. You do get a faint smell of rot, however.
I'll share that with Resonant. That guessing the fight was a farce, but there's something decaying.
Decaying.
I'm not sure what, but
It smells like it's somewhere deeper in the ziggurat, Gatorman. You think you could find a way there if you wanted to.
this runification thing takes a little bit of time, right? Right, absolutely. I'll be right back.
Wait, where are you going?
Looking
Centuria's
into
going
things.
with him.
I'm picturing Gatorman not answering the question and just like nose to the ground, Scooby-Doo style, wandering away.
Or is this like, I'll
Yeah,
go.
we
I'll go
shouldn't
with
let him go on his own.
No.
We'll be back.
Not safe to go alone. Take one of these with you.
Hold up, Centuria.
Yeah, I guess Resonant and Mortis are probably the only two who need to be runified.
Yeah, probably.
I don't even have any magic, so
I cast Punch.
I mean,
It's super effective.
I have magic arrows. I should probably stick around. Just in case.
does that mean that Dave is going with us?
I thought that
Yes.
was the plan.
I meant on to go. Yeah, sure. We're
Alright.
walking people speed, not gear speed. So
We're walking
Don't get
stiff
too
and
bored.
speed. And as you go making your way, Gatorman,
Downtown.
making your way downtown, Gatorman.
sniffing fast. I'm corpse bound.
No.
God.
It's rotten. No.
Dave and Centuria, is there anything you want to chat about while Gatorman's leading the way?
Nope.
Nope.
Dead silence. Just the sound of.
Sniffing
Coming
and
from-
footsteps.
Editor's note. Awkward.
Smells like tension back there. Okay, just go on, keep on walking.
Wish I knew what was in the thought bubbles. That'd be nice.
Nope.
Nope.
Did
Awesome.
you two realize at one point I was sitting inside of a cockpit this way, and Resonant was talking to Bowman the whole time about being a good dad, and that was less awkward than you two back there.
I don't know what
what
you're
you're talking
talking
about.
about.
Wow.
Jinx, you
That's
owe me an
appropriate.
RC.
That
Talk
was
about
appropriate.
that, but yep.
But in this universe, RC is a clear cola. Oh,
Ugh.
Ew.
RC clear.
It's real crystal. That's what the RC stands for.
That's right, real crystal.
Real cancer. I mean,
Wow.
Oh.
Damn.
Perfect. So, our heroes make their way down, following Gatorman's nose and the sound of the deafening full silence in the room. Gatorman, you find a large stone door that has two of those aliens carved in the front of it again. The smell appears to be originating behind this door, although it seems to be locked.
Look back in the hall for Chimera or Brainiac unit. One's wondering about doing things.
Yeah, Chimera's around.
Nate? The knock-knock joke didn't work. Can you open the door?
What business do you have behind this door?
Oh, we're getting ready to go on an important excursion for the big guy upstairs, blue guy.
You refer to the curator.
That's the one.
There is nothing behind this door that will aid in your journey.
There's absolutely. Don't tell me that. Tell him. Just open the door. I'm not going to tell him no. I'm not going to tell him you screwed up.
Give me a deception check.
Chimera units cannot be deceived.
You are aware we have a telepathic link to the curator.
Strong 19.
brain guys.
That's rough. Is that's not even a bad roll for you.
No, it's not
Right.
bad.
The Chimera unit sort of looks at you, and you see its eyes sort of glaze over like it's checking something. And it comes back to, there is nothing behind this door that will aid in your journey.
No, I must be wrong. All right, see ya. Send him on his way.
I suspect you are going to attempt to gain access to this room the second I leave.
Hey, Chimera units aren't that savvy.
I appreciate your initiative.
Maybe
You're a good
you
guy.
aren't.
Maybe
Hey!
not. Maybe not on Starhaven.
It'll be
I'm sorry.
fine.
Hey,
Effective.
Centuria, check your character sassiness over there. And
Here's the thing: Kevin's Chimera is a Chimera Vista. This is a Chimera 10.
oh,
Wow.
Ooh. Ow.
Let's find the one running on Windows 98.
That's Kevin's computer.
oh,
Oh,
Oh, sorry, I'm a Chimera unit. I'm not that sassy.
nah, you be sassy. It's fine. Look, you've got an important job to stop this incursion. Go, 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 go. It's more important than sitting around here.
How far away is the kitchen?
There is no kitchen here in the Ziggurat. None of us
Is
require
there a
sustenance.
place to? Oh, okay. Is there a place to get water?
None of us require water.
You just don't have a place to get water.
If you would like me to recover some of the treats from the menagerie, I am happy to do so.
How far is the menagerie?
Depends on what sort of nutrition you require.
I need you to bring me as much nutrition as you can carry with your little arms.
My arms are quite large.
Yeah, I believe you. But make sure it's the good stuff. You have to check all the expiration dates to make sure that they're not expired. And you have to, you just have to make sure it's good stuff. I want you to spend quite a bit of time trying to get to figure out what I would like. Okay?
Please remain still for a moment.
Yeah, I'll stay right here.
And he
Well,
reaches
that'd
out
be
and
interesting.
puts a palm on your forehead.
won't that be interesting? We can finally have someone find something you like.
Talking like a true ex-husband.
Didn't want all that sassy tea. That's what she did.
You know, I did find something I liked, and then what I liked left. So,
You appear to be craving reconciliation.
yeah, okay. Can you go get me sustenance, please?
Yes, I will return with a piece of chocolate cake.
Excellent.
And the Chimera unit will wander off to go make a chocolate cake.
So can you, like, phase through this door with your super speed, or are you completely useless?
Oof. Centuria.
You're not there.
What are you talking about? We all went.
No.
You guys stayed because you guys had to do the rune thing.
Oh, okay.
It's just the three of us, non-magic homies.
I can face through the door and then re-solidify, and hopefully it's soundproof. So yeah, what do you want me to do up there?
Well, Gatorman's thing.
I mean, we could just pull.
Pull open the door.
Yeah, sure, why not? It's stone.
Well, let me phase through and see if there's any controls on the other side, so we can avoid all that straining and noise making. So I will.
Wouldn't be much straining, but alright.
What is happening in the basement of this ziggurat?
No clue.
Is that your face
Shade.
noise?
Shade is being cast.
It's dark down here.
I'll phase through the door and see if there are controls on the other side.
So Overdrive, you face through the door. You do arrive in almost a temple-like space. It's got very long, like reflective stone floors, columns that go from floor to ceiling, sort of recessed areas, full of this sort of a pinkish lavender fluid, and there is a great smell of incense and honeysuckle through the room. At the far end, there is a giant stone sarcophagus that is stood up, that has one of these aliens in relief on it. There do not appear to be controls to open or close the door. You suspect, like everything else in here, it is handled telepathically by the Chimera units or by the Curator itself.
All right, I will phase back through. Let them know what I saw. There aren't controls on the other side. Looks like it'll have to be Centuria's way for a change.
What do you mean?
Nothing.
That's
Nothing.
negative against you.
That was sarcasm.
Oh, was it?
Yes. I know
Maybe
your
you should
skin
work
is
on that.
dense, but I thought the rest of you was a little more.
She reaches out and she just yanks open the door.
That worked.
I won't make you make a strength check. You just rip the stone hinges off.
It's just rage at that point, fueling that.
The Chimera unit returns with the chocolate cake.
Can you get some milk for this?
The Chimera unit says, "What mammal would you like the milk from?"
Ew. Almond.
That is not a mammal.
You're correct.
But I can produce it as you wish.
You have to go somewhere for that?
The Chimera unit will open its mouth and
No!
release almond milk in a glass for you.
Oh God!
Gross.
Wow, that's a pretty visual.
That's handy.
Thank you.
It is cold.
Moon's-
If you
Moon's
prefer
Make
to,
note of that when we go back to Starhaven. Chimera units can regurgitate almond milk.
Or
That's
several,
gonna happen. It's
or
gonna
the
happen.
milk of several different mammals, depending.
Oh,
You told us this earlier.
That's
Kids are
handy and
gonna be like,
horrifying.
holy shit!
Can we get some moon milk?
oh.
what is moon milk?
Chimera, I'm thirsty. Ah,
It comes from the moon cows. That's how they make the moon pies. Come on. It's all about the
Yeah.
moon ingredients.
can't argue with that logic.
What the hell just happened?
I feel so sorry for Flynn.
The Chimera
Yeah,
unit
you'll
says. The Chimera unit says, "I apologize. I didn't ask you what temperature you required."
Can you go get me some ice?
What are you feeling
For
sorry
this-
for Flynn for? He could work several new pickup lines out of this whole scenario.
No!
Would you like to see my blue milk?
You asked for ice. You hear an ice maker noise in its stomach.
No! No!
It says crushed or cubed.
Oh my God.
Why are you a refrigerator?
Can you,
Oh my
can you
god.
just go get me a piece of cake too? That'd be nice.
Indeed, I can't.
Thanks. Kind of nudged Centuria. Why don't you drink it?
No. Centuria's just staring in horror at the glass of milk in her hand.
It could be delicious.
You want to try it?
No?
You're the one that's all, you know,
I know what
culinary
almond milk tastes
expert.
like. Yeah, I want to see what you're thinking.
Well, if you know what almond milk tastes like, then you can tell me if this tastes like almond milk.
Smells like it.
Hmm.
Really good nose.
Hmm. Dave, do you want to try it?
I'm good, thanks.
Okay.
Tell me how it tastes. I'm just gonna walk through the busted door.
Yeah, I think it's time to move on.
She sets the cake in the glass of milk on the floor and then just moves into the
Don't do that. They'll get ants. Okay.
Do you want space ants? 'Cause that's how you get space ants.
Oh my god. That was so much. So much just happened.
Yeah, you guys are in this temple space, it seems like.
Oh,
Can you track where the smell is coming from?
oh, that thing. Get don't want to breathe deep and not like it, but see if I can pick up on anything recently that's occurred in here or recent activity.
Okay. Give me a perception check, Peter, man.
I'd rather not.
It smells like milk.
I smell almond milk.
Ew.
It smells like regret.
31.
Smells like resentment between Overdrive and Centuria.
Wow, nice redirect. Thanks.
Sorry, yeah, I guess it's Centuria to Overdrive, not the other way around.
Yeah.
No, it seems like it's both ways.
Mutual disdain.
As you are taking a deep breath, Gatorman, sort of smelling through, you can tell that there is activity that happens in here on a regular basis. You can smell that they replenish the whatever is generating the smell in the air. The fluid seems to have a tangy smell to it as well. You definitely smell the rot in the sarcophagus. But it doesn't. It's hard to tell if there's anything specific that happened in here. It does not smell like the sarcophagus has been handled recently.
Grab the communicator and let's call up Resonant real quick from down here.
Resonant, you're
Yep.
in the middle of being face painted by a couple of Chimera units.
Face painted.
Gatorman?
Hey! So, weird question.
Okay.
What would Adrian want with the corpse of an ancient looking alien thing, like the skinny looking Chimera guys we saw on the doors, that's sitting at the middle of this temple?
Wait. Is there an actual preserver body down there?
What's a preserver look like?
I have no idea, but it's the only thing I could think of being here.
Is it a skinny looking thing that has a triangle head?
I have no idea.
Me either, but that's what's in here.
The Guardians would know.
Triangle head. Triangle head.
Triangle.
So, tentatively, I'll say yes. And they're keeping it involved? That's a
Nice.
big question mark, not a little question mark.
Unless that's not an actual preserver and it's the physical embodiment of the stone that the curator was talking about.
That sounds a lot like open this thing up and look. It's going to piss a lot of people off. I'm just going to let you know.
Great.
This can go to the British History Museum on this.
Oh,
Yep.
cool. You didn't say no. That's surprising. All right.
Wait. And you hang up before
Love you, bye.
and you hang up before she can say anything or?
Gatorman turns around. So Resident said we should bust this thing open.
No, don't cast punch yet. Cast open with possibly needed force. Then punch it if it doesn't work.
Well, you want me to do it?
I mean, you're the one with all the pent up rage right now. I'm feeling pretty relaxed. And I definitely don't want him to go phasing through it. That seems like a terrible idea. You don't want to face in a coffin, right?
Yeah, Dave, you should face through
Who said that?
it. Your intrusive thoughts.
Are you back with my cake yet? Shut up.
As a matter of fact, the Chimera unit is back with your cake.
We need a third slice of cake, please.
That was pretty rude of you. Why didn't you get him one?
I am not programmed to anticipate the needs of biologicals.
Oh, well, there's your programming.
I require explicit instruction.
Okay, cake, 3 inches at one end. Figure it out. 45-degree angle. He likes it thick. All 2 layers. Go.
The cake I have only has 2 layers.
Buttercream in the middle. Go.
Make another layer.
I will see what I can do.
I'm gonna face through the coffin because that seems a better environment.
You're
than
not-
the one I'm in.
Oh, crap, he did
It
it.
seems less toxic.
Seems less toxic in here with dead people. I'm going.
I didn't think you would actually do it.
Tastes like preserver.
Give me a fortitude save. Overdrive.
I'm handed Centurion the phone to go, you tell Resonant that one. I'm not calling him back.
She's gonna think I told him to do it.
Yeah, that's why I gave you the phone.
Oh.
29.
That's a pretty
Oh,
good
that was a
fortitude
DC
check.
30. Crap. Oh, sorry.
It's a good roll, but it's not a success. As you, it's not a massive failure or anything like that. But as you enter the sarcophagus, you feel your molecules begin to freeze in place, like this is a stasis field of some kind,
Backing out.
and you get a daze condition before you're able to move yourself out.
Okay, that was not a good idea.
Nope.
Basis
Well,
field
yeah,
is
nobody
something.
asked you to do that.
Oh, you asked, but just not in so many words.
Nope. Nope. Okay.
Yeah, maybe asked is the wrong way to phrase it.
Overdrive.
Subtly
job.
encouraged. Subtly.
Good
Encouraged.
job. I appreciate you finding that out. Good scouting.
That's what I'm here for.
Do you think if I open the coffin,
Mhm.
it'll spread to all of us? Or do you think it's contained in the coffin?
I think the coffin's just a fancy wrapper. The containment field's something else. But there could be a preserver stone in there, which didn't see that coming. So, yeah, let's do this.
Centurion's
What
gonna
could
open
go
the coffin.
wrong?
I wish Mortis was here.
Dead gods, and I'm not there. Whatever.
So, Centuria, you nestle your fingers into the seam between the lid and the back half of the sarcophagus, and it takes a really strong pull, but you're like strength 19 or whatever, so you're able to rip it off its, or you can open it as gently as you want to. As the door swings open, there is a hissing noise as pressure and air is released from inside. But you don't seem like there's no affliction that washes over you. Inside, you do see there is a similar looking alien to the one on the relief. This one, tall, thin, triangular head, and its body is encased in this blue energy field. The body is mummified, so it is corpse-like. It is dressed in this strangely elaborate purple and blue robe. And as you're sort of taking stock of it, you see its eyes open.
Hello.
Its eyes open.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Hey there.
Centuria, out of reflex, pushes Dave behind her.
It goes, what year is it?
It's Christmas Day, sir.
That I haven't missed it. I miss when ghosts used to bully millionaires. Yeah, its eyes open. It says something in a language that none of you speak.
God, I wish that freak was here. The one that was obsessed with the stone. Remember her?
No.
I feel like she would know what was going on.
Oh, I got my adventure notes wrong. This is a
Gatorman
Guardians
said no.
adventure.
Well, now it's all becoming clear.
Hi.
You made an
This is
inside
a
check.
weird question, Alex.
Mhm.
So, have I been around the Preserver Stones before?
I would say no, because you weren't able to stop Una. It's for a hero point. I'd say that you could have come into contact with one, but not all of them, and definitely not the one here on the Curator's planet.
I'll give you a hero point because I want to ask a weird question.
Okay.
Do they make a noise?
The Preserver Stones?
Yeah, like any sort of like buzzing noise, even something very subtle that most people can't hear, the Centuria would be able to hear.
Yeah, Centuria would be able to hear that almost anywhere the stones go, it almost sounds like the universe is burning around them on a microscopic level. There's sort
Do
of
I hear that in here?
You do. In the energy field around this mummy.
But I didn't hear that when we were in the other room.
No, not upstairs.
The stone is definitely in here.
Oh, that's good. I got a 33 on the inside.
The look on this thing's face seems to suggest keep speaking.
Oh. Are you trying to figure out what I'm saying by talking? Are you like some weird ancient thing? I'm really just rambling right now, hoping this works. I don't know. You know, how now, brown cow?
Continue.
What about your cousin? Oh.
Oh, that. The quick brown fox jumped over the fence? It's most of the letters. Are you a dead preserver or a reanimated preserver or a preserved preserver? Yes is good, no is bad.
I am that which prevails.
Ah, alright, sounds good.
And he who proceeds.
Fair enough. So,
How is it that you have come to this place?
Ripped off a door.
around that. Crazy, evil Earth wizard just traveling across the cosmos trying to clash all the universes together and make the stuff explode, and we're trying to stop it, and looking for the stone that is probably around here. So if you have that, that would be cool.
How have you come to know of the Axiom Stone?
The big book of everything. We talked to it.
Just so casual.
I am aware of the source book.
The new one or the old one?
Many of them.
One of them got blown up, so we brought a new one in there.
They were created by the people who created me.
So,
We are the same. That which proceeds.
yeah, nice to meet you. I'm Gator Man. These are my friends. So, can you help us with the stone? We can stop this whole, destruction of everything we know. That would be nice.
I cannot.
Ah, hell.
I must be preserved.
Certainly live up to your name. All right, guy.
Meanwhile, upstairs, as the runification face paint party is happening, the chimeras do have these very elaborate paint sets that they have taken out, and they are painting a number of arcane sigils and runes across Resonant Mortis and Bowman's skin, preparing them for the journey into the Bottled City. Shortly after Gatorman hangs up on you, Resonant, you notice the glass pyramid above the Dome City fizzles out of existence. And the curator looks up.
I look at the curator. That doesn't look like it's a good thing, is it?
I believe your friends have gone and messed with something they should not have messed with.
Damn it, Barry! What did you do this time?
What are you talking about?
And he closes his eyes, and you see all of the chimeras in the room stand up, and all of their eyes glow blue for a second. They have gone to interfere with the Axiom Stone. The guardian of it, he is kept here.
I thought the stone was here.
The stone is also here. The
Wait,
stone and
so
the
they
guardian
did-
are one and the same.
Resident kind of goes, of course. So there is actually a preserver on this station.
To call him a preserver is to insult what he is.
Let's see.
Then enlighten us.
He precedes the preservers.
What does that mean?
Means that he and the other avatars of the stones are older than our multiverse. They were there at the beginning, and they will be here at the end.
Which end? The end that Adrian's driving for, or some other end?
Whatever end befalls the universe, they will endure beyond.
Are you sure?
Give me an insight check, Resonant.
Okay. There's that 6 again. 29.
What is happening?
I don't know.
The look on his face suggests that he may be thinking of a specific end that they could not survive, but you're not sure if it is
Adrian's end.
Adrian's or something else.
So that, but based on the look, Resonant goes, so there is at least an end where they don't survive beyond it.
Indeed, the end that will be brought about by Collapsar. But Collapsar was designed to destroy everything the Preservers built and preserved. That is Collapsar's function. As my function is to curate.
And the stone's function?
To be preserved.
That doesn't, from what we know of the stones, that's not what they do.
Anything they are capable of beyond their function is a side effect of their great ability.
And being a side effect means that they get used for that power and not their intended function. You realize that. Anyone that can wield one will use its power, not understanding what it is, because all of this knowledge has been lost. Unless Adrian knows something more, which is entirely possible. He had the source book. Whatever insights he could have gleaned from it could have pushed him to this point. He took a preserver stone from another reality.
That is impossible.
It's not. We were there when it happened.
There are only 5 in the multiverse. They may be spread out into other universes, but there are only the 5.
This one, I can guarantee you it was one.
Describe the stone to me.
I go into detail about the life stone from the Lafandi of the Gemstars.
And Curator sort of nods. Indeed, that is the life stone. I don't know why he would have taken that, though. It will not aid him in his quest of destruction.
Won't it?
The life stone is intended to create life.
And that's what Adrian wants to do. Create life after he destroys everything, but create life in a manner that he wants it to be. Create life that doesn't have superpowers, that doesn't have magic, that is mundane, that is ordinary, that is devoid of suffering and pain, that is devoid of everything that life is.
This is most concerning. But we need to stop your friends from speaking with the Axiom Stone.
Knowing at least one of the ones that's down there, yeah, it's already happened.
What will happen if they speak to the Axiom Stone?
It is possible the stone will escape. And if the stone escapes, a great many of my abilities will be diminished. Including my ability to maintain multiversal incursions. The Axiom Stone's role in the set is to maintain order.
And you're a conduit for the Axiom Stone.
I am. I'm one of the few beings who can use it safely.
Get on the comms. Gatorman, Centuria, Overdrive, get out of there now.
Hey, I think it's or he said he was preserver.
Get out of there now.
Does that come through on the comms?
The get out of there now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say to get out of there now.
Bye.
It sounds like Resonant's intention is to put it on the comms.
Right, but I didn't know if that was going to get through to us or not.
Oh, it does. Yeah, sorry. You're asking. You're asking me if it arrived, not if Resonant was
Yes.
sent.
Do we hear that?
You do hear it on the comms.
Alrighty then. Time to speed wake.
Can
Babe.
I close the coffin?
Nope, speed wake.
Oh dear.
I look at the curator. That should have gotten them out of there. If you send your chimera units to take care of putting the genie back in the bottle.
They're already on their way. And you see his eyes sort of flicker, and his body spasms.
Not quick enough.
The Brainiacs should finish the miniaturization technology momentarily. I must retire. And his metal form starts to stiffen.
What is happening to you?
The stone has escaped. My programming is ensuring I shut down. Until a preserver can come and turn me back on.
What about your multiversal protections? Will those shut down along with you
They will.
instantaneously?
There will be some lag time, but I would do what you need to do in the city and exit as quickly as possible. And as he says this, the ziggurat begins to shudder. And this room, you notice that the pylons and stuff, as the energy is sort of dissipating from the pyramid, there is a small fog that's rolled in along the base of some of the pylons. You must hurry. In Overdrive, you arrive in the room around this time.
Oh.
It's fine. You're fine.
Oh. Yeah, I'm getting used to it, which is worse.
And the curator will fall to the ground with a loud metal clang.
What's again a bad time? Hey, Resident, what's up?
The multiversal protections on this place are failing. We only have a small amount of time because you let the genie out of the bottle.
I was talking to the guy. He seemed kind of nice, but the stone was in there.
The stone was him
Well, why aren't we getting him?
because he's gone. The
Gone. He was just in his coffin.
Oh, we were just talking to him.
the curator is a conduit for the Axiom Stone. She points to the curator's stiff and lifeless form on the ground. Its power was the only thing keeping this place functioning the way it was. It has left the facility, and we don't have much time if we're going to get in there, stop Adrian from getting what he's doing, and getting out of here before another universe crashes in completely.
Wasn't he here trying to get the stone? Should we go after it? Or
The stone is probably long gone in whatever form and function it has.
Well, then I guess we should go. Get ready.
Sorry. We're on to punch and Adrian mode.
Yeah.
We just have a time limit now, more so than we did before.
Yeah.
The last Chimera unit in the room will finish up your paintings. This one has a beret to go with its paintbrush.
I'll paint you like one of my French girls.
God.
And the Brainiac drones will wheel in this large, interesting-looking laser cannon.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
It is Honey, I Shrunk the Kids style. And the Brainiac drones will say, Brainiac is ready to receive you in the dome.
Let's go.
All right.
And they will put you guys out in front of the laser. They will fire it up. The laser hits you, and you shrink down and are transported into the bottled city of Kandor. And that is where we will end part 1 of our mid-season finale. Because this is going to be nuts. Remember when you were like, do something Adrian would never predict?
Yep.
I mean, we
Yeah.
did it.
Y'all
yeah.
did something
Did it,
I
yeah.
would never predict.
See? Surprise.
Yeah, we handled that very Guardians of Haveny.
Mhm.
You know.
Put the stone out of Adrian's reach, he said. Now the stone's free, I said.
That's technically accomplishing the mission.
Self high five. Woo.
So yeah, thank you everybody who hung out here with us tonight. We appreciate you tuning in. If you have not yet, please take a look around, and if you are on a platform like YouTube or Twitch, please go ahead and hit the little follow button, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all the fun algorithm things to help us continue to grow. Tell your friends about us that we're here. If you are interested in supporting us further, we do have a Patreon at patreon.com/untold-stories-project, where we are ramping up quickly for our October preparations for National Novel Writing Month in November. So we will be getting groups together to talk about the books we'll be writing. We'll be doing some outlining throughout the month of October. and just working together to make sure that we can hit the ground running in November to all write our 50,000 word novel during those 30 days, or write portions of a novel that should have been finished in those 30 days. Whatever the case may be, write whatever you want. If it's fan fiction, a novel, if you're writing a new campaign to play with your friends, whatever you want, just come hang out with us, and we'll all work together for that. Other news around the network, we should have a new episode of Heroes of Tomorrow this Friday on wherever you get podcasts. I listen on Spotify, but it's on Apple Podcasts as well. Tuesday, we will be premiering a brand new show called Something in the Dark, which is another magical-based superhero team set in our Untold Stories Project Earth Prime tabletop universe. That's a mouthful when you don't say it was Pep 2. These heroes work with Arcade, which is a dark organization that handles the stuff that even the Freedom League Dark doesn't get down into. So I'm very excited to see how that show plays out. It's going to be a little more mature than Freedom League Dark or Gemstars.
Hey.
And,
That's your transformation.
from a content
I know, I know.
not a...
I know what you meant.
But also,
When I'm done with my Hunchback stuff, I will be joining that cast, so that's going to be a ton of fun. Otherwise, I will be in Pittsburgh this weekend. If you're in the Pittsburgh area, feel free to drop by. I'll be running 3 Mutants and Masterminds games at the Pittsburgh Game Expo, and I'll be giving a panel, which is a Mutants and Masterminds developer Q&A, so feel free to bring whatever questions you have about Valiant Adventures role-playing game or Mutants and Masterminds, its current state of affairs. I'll tell you what I can. Yeah, and then we'll be back here again, same bat time, same bat channel, to finish out our mid-season finale. Afterwards, we'll be taking a couple of months off while we do our holiday one-shots in this Wednesday time slot. So Deuce will be running some spooky stuff. Jonesy will be running some spooky stuff. I'll be running a Thanksgiving adventure. Yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff coming up. So keep an eye on the channel. Keep an eye on UntoldStoriesProject.com. We'll have updates there. And I want to give everybody a chance to plug anything else they want to plug and say goodbye for the evening, starting with Kat.
Hey guys, thanks for watching wherever you're watching. Definitely check out Heroes of Tomorrow. I love that podcast. I literally listen to it. Even though I'm in it, it's still so funny. As for Alex's Thanksgiving game, totally watch that because there may be some familiar characters returning for it. I definitely didn't, volunteer him to do that, but it's fine.
I was
and that's all I have to say. I suggested it strongly.
With a baseball bat.
I didn't have a baseball bat yet. But I will pass it to Jonesy.
Thanks everyone for tuning in tonight. Looking forward to the final part of this two-parter next week. By that I say, when's part 3 coming?
No. We're gonna get it done next week.
So,
Jonesy, I cannot wait for you to see what happens at the end of next week's episode. You're gonna lose your mind.
Nothing to make me worried about for a week, right? As mentioned, in October, I'll be running a two-parter of Cthulhu Awakens, so I'm super excited about that. Over to Kevin.
Hey everybody, I'm Kevin. As usual, I'm late to the party. I show up for the finale, and then it's the holidays. But you know how the holidays go. So make sure to come back next week for that mid-season finale. Who will live? Who will die? Who will be traumatized? I think we know the answer to the last one.
What mean things will Kat say to Kevin?
That's not really surprising. That's like breathing. No. So anyway, thanks for hanging out with us. I will kick it down to Andy.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us this evening. It's been a little bit since we've been back, but we are back. We'll continue to run fun stuff with Freedom League Dark till we get to our holiday one-shots, which will be a ton of fun because we do a lot. We like to do this during the last 3 months of the year to kind of showcase some of the other systems that the GMs have in their back pockets, and we don't tend to see on streaming channels like this. So if you're interested in some different things, you'll be really, really happy that you stuck around for October, November, and December. So keep doing what you're doing. Keep liking the content. Just give us that ability to continue bringing stuff to you guys. And with that, I will pass it on over to Calvin.
All right. Well, yeah, thanks again. Like as everyone said, thanks for stopping by and, learning with us how Chimera units work. And what secret functions they may have.
That is all right. So here's the thing about the throw up.
Yeah.
You were channeling a different Chimera?
Yeah, it's a reference to the metaphor Chimera, whose one superpower is being able to generate any fluid from their body. He's the worst, and I had to share that with all of you.
Well, I didn't need that.
I needed
That's going all the way back to Mutants and Masterminds first edition.
Indeed.
That was disgusting.
Disgusting.
Well, I'm sure the Guardians are finding some way to enjoy this function.
It can make space from if you want space from.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. Some sort of space alcohol or moon alcohol. Actually,
yeah, moon rum.
Why is the...
You mean moonshine?
Moonshine.
Yes.
Oh,
Turn in your alcohol
Split
card.
approved.
I can't believe you walked into that one.
What's
Linda
that?
Bruce.
It's canon now. That's
A little preview of what they're doing over there. Yeah, as well, just check out all the stuff that's going on the channel. Check out Heroes of Tomorrow. If you're on YouTube, please check out the One with Dice channel, where we have weekly gaming streams with tabletop RPG podcasts. Finishing Alan Wake soon and starting Mass Effect Andromeda, so that's going to be some fun stuff coming up. And with that, I'll pass it over to the Deuce.
howdy, everybody. As everyone said, and it's still important, thank you so much for watching us however you do live, which you can chat with us in the chat and make us laugh even more and see if you can break cat or after the fact. Also, as we always stated, please make sure to check out our good people at Norse Foundry. Use our code USB Norse, save a little bit of money, and roll better than the Roll 20 dice roller has done to us tonight. All that being said, again, Fan, happy birthday, but you should be in bed. It's 10 o'clock. And just remember, buddy, I will never let you grow up to play a speedster. Love you. And with that, back to Alex.
Wow.
Amazing. I love that for you.
Looking out for my buddy.
Also, I am 100% convinced the Moonabama part of the moon is where all of the moonshiners are from. There are stills, and there are low-ride cars, and they drive away from the moon cops all the time, and...
The moon cops.
The Moon Bama Chimera Tide. Roll Tide.
My God.
Those troublesome Duke boys.
That's right.
Yeah, that Milk Boy's out again. Let's see what it gets into this week.
Oh.
Just some good old boys.
Ew.
All right. So, thank you. What are you
Moon
doing?
of Hazards.
All right. Well, now that we've had that, I will let everybody go. If